There's no question the Obama administration from the very earliest days were looking for a rationale for linking the Trump campaign to a supposed Russian collusion scheme. There is no doubt that was the case. An actual piece of scandal. According to the New York Post, the FBI failed to provide key thumb drives in the Clinton email probe. This is according to the DOJ watchdog files. According to the New York Post, the FBI barely glanced at potentially crucial evidence in its investigation of Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server while she was Secretary of State, according to a portion of a watchdog report made public on Monday. A confidential source gave thumb drives to the FBI that contained State Department data acquired via cyber intrusions, including emails from President Obama and others, according to a declassified appendix to a June 2018 DOJ Inspector General report. But the feds declined to comprehensively analyze those drives due to concerns about individual data caught up in the hack, despite an internal draft memo concluding it was necessary to assess the national security risks pertaining to Clinton's private server use. That's unbelievable. Essentially, it means that the FBI, when they were investigating how Hillary Clinton was handling her emails and mishandling highly classified information, the FBI basically decided to ignore thumb drives showing that she had basically exposed emails from people, including President Barack Obama, apparently. That report was penned by then DOJ Inspector General Michael Horowitz, who holds the same position at the Federal Reserve Board and the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. During that 2016 campaign cycle, the FBI Cyber Division had sought to obtain access to the hard drives to conduct targeted searches for information relevant to the Clinton probe, and they were rebuffed. They were told no. Then FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe asked then U.S. Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates in a memo if he could refer to the drives for the Bureau's probe of Russian interference in the 2016 election, and that was shot down. So, essentially, they didn't do basic investigative work, and they left key pieces of evidence on the cutting room floor, according to Senator Chuck Grassley. Grassley said the Comey FBI's negligent approach and perhaps intentional lack of effort in the Clinton investigation is a stark contrast to its full-throated investigation of the Trump-Russia collusion hoax, which was based on the uncorroborated and now discredited Steele dossier. You know, it was on the basis of that, by the way. It was on the basis of Comey not wanting to look at what was actually in those thumb drives, at least partially, that he decided to dismiss the case against Hillary Clinton and claim that there was no violation of law. Another notable detail in the appendix is that the FBI stumbled upon Russian language intelligence, alleging that then U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch and Comey were interfering in the Clinton email investigation to help the Democratic and Republican presidential candidates, respectively. That intel also included claims that the then DNC chairwoman, Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz, had communicated with two individuals who worked at the Soros Open Society Foundations and told them she was confident the FBI did not have evidence against Clinton because data was removed from the mail servers just in time. At the very least, there's a lot of information here that basically it looks like the FBI and DOJ decided to ignore because it was inconvenient to Hillary Clinton in 2016. She, of course, was let off the hook by James Comey over at the FBI. So that is an amazing, amazing story. The other story that is being retailed by Tulsi Gabbard is, frankly, less amazing. So recall yesterday on the program, we talked about Tulsi Gabbard suggesting that the Obama administration had specifically gone back on an intelligence community report. That intelligence community report had said that there was no manipulation of the electoral tools of like actual voting machines, for example. And the allegation by Tulsi Gabbard is that the Obama administration basically went back on that and then tried to rewrite it to suggest that there was Russian interference. Now, I read that entire thing on the air just a couple of days ago. Again, she had claimed that in the run-up and immediate aftermath of the 2016 election, Obama intelligence officials, including then DNI James Clapper, took the position, according to Andrew McCarthy, that Russia was probably not trying to influence the election by using cyber means. But later, as top Obama administration officials huddled and executed rapid-fire completion of the ICA, she says they changed their tune to try and sandbag Trump with a bunch of Russian interference memes and nonsense. Now, as we talked about, again, a couple of days ago, there's no question the Obama administration, from the very earliest days of the Fusion GPS Steele dossier scandal, were looking for a rationale for linking the Trump campaign to a supposed Russian collusion scheme. There is no doubt that was the case. They were maximizing everything. They were issuing illegal FISA warrants against Carter Page. They were using the Steele dossier as the basis for things like the FISA surveillance warrant. And then they were leaking that into the public view. Right? All of that is well substantiated and scandalous in the extreme. Gabbard is saying she has something new, and that the new thing is that basically the Obama administration and Obama himself changed an intelligence community ruling in order to suggest that there was Russian interference with actual election infrastructure. But that's not actually what the document said. What it said is that the Obama administration concluded there was no hacking of election infrastructure, and that later statements had to deal with Russian interference in the election. I always assumed that restless sleep was inevitable. Night after night, tossing, turning, waking up with the aching back. I'd convinced myself that's how sleep was supposed to be. And honestly, when I'm on the road, it still is. And then at home, I've got Helix sleep. Everything changed. It's truly been transformative for my sleep quality. I easily fall asleep in minutes, even when, there's a lot going on in my life. What makes Helix different, they're not just selling you some sort of random mattress. They match you with the perfect mattress for your body and sleep style. Whether you're a side sleeper, back sleeper, or somewhere in between, they've got you covered. They make it so simple to get your best night's sleep every night. All you have to do is take their sleep quiz, get matched with a custom mattress based on your body type and sleep preferences. And trust me, when you find the right match, you'll wonder how you ever slept on anything else. The process is super simple. You just go on their website. I did this. And then I told them exactly how I sleep. The mattress came made just for me. Everything else in your life is personalized. Why not the thing you're spending 8 hours a night on? Helix is offering an incredible sale for my listeners right now. Visit helixsleep.com/Ben. Get 27% off site-wide. That's helixsleep.com/Ben for 27% off site-wide. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. Again, just visit helixsleep.com/Ben for this exclusive offer. Now, was there Russian interference in 2016? I mean, there certainly was memery online. It was minimal, as we talked about. It was not particularly effective. And Russia always attempts to interfere in American elections. They do this all the time. I'm old enough to remember when they interfered on behalf of Barack Obama. You'll remember in 2012, Barack Obama literally sat next to Dmitry Medvedev and was caught on a hot mic saying that if Vladimir could simply cool his heels, cool his jets for the next couple of months, we'll have something to talk about on the other side of the election. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly what the DNI is attempting to accomplish with this sort of new accusation. She says that there are more Russia hoax documents that will be released later this week. We can hope they substantiate her accusations better than the current documents do.
He's saying that none of this makes any sense, that this is a distraction. What do you say to that?
It's the art of deflection coming from former President Obama, as well as his friends who are still in Congress today, and Senator Warner and Congressman Jim Himes, really all basically saying that exact same statement, which doesn't actually address the issue that was revealed in great detail in the over 100 documents that we released last week, in the documents that we will be releasing later this week, that point to the undeniable fact that you laid out in your introduction to this segment.
Okay, so again, did the Obama administration try to interfere on behalf of Hillary Clinton and against Donald Trump in the 2016 election? Yes. Was there violation of law? If there was violation of law, it was on the part of FBI directors, deputy FBI directors, and all the rest. The president is sort of immune from a lot of this sort of stuff simply because he has an enormous amount of executive power to have these sorts of conversations, right? This was a Supreme Court decision that actually recently came out with regard to President Trump. You'll recall that there was a Supreme Court decision that suggested that there is executive decision-making that lies out of the domain of, for example, lawsuits. And this probably falls into that particular category. So I asked my friends and sponsors over at Perplexity, what did the Supreme Court recently rule about executive immunity? And how would it protect President Obama with regard to accusations his IC report was skewed? Well, as Perplexity says, on July 1st, 2024, the U.S. Supreme Court issued a landmark decision in Trump versus United States regarding presidential immunity from criminal prosecution. The key points of the ruling are absolute immunity. Presidents are absolutely immune from criminal prosecution for actions taken within their core constitutional powers. They are also presumptively immune for official acts. Those would be actions taken as president that are neither purely personal nor at the core, and there is presumed immunity, and you can try to overcome the presumption. So, when it comes to the IC report accusations, would the Supreme Court ruling shield Trump? Well, again, as Perplexity notes, if the actions involve official duties like overseeing, ordering, or approving IC assessments or reports while acting as president, President Obama would enjoy at a minimum a presumption of immunity from criminal prosecution. And absolute immunity could apply if the conduct was seen as a direct exercise of the president's core constitutional authority, like managing the IC. So, very difficult presumption to overcome for criminal prosecution. Obama is responding via his spokesperson, quote, out of the respect for the office of the presidency, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of this White House with a response, but these claims are outrageous enough to merit one. These bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at distraction. Nothing in the document issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 presidential election but did not successfully manipulate any votes. Now, again, there's another widely accepted conclusion that really Trump is correct to hit President Obama over. And that is the widely accepted conclusion that Obama's entire team was essentially incepting into being a collusion scandal between Trump's team and Russia that supposedly turned the nature of the election and was complete with, again, falsely issued FISA warrants, as well as the mainlining of absolute nonsense via the Steele dossier, which was a Clinton campaign compendium that somehow ended up spurring a full intelligence investigation. It is kind of fun to watch the Pod Save America boys get really mad about this, I will say. John Favreau came out and suggested that if you don't like it, you can go arrest Barack Obama. Well, I mean, let's just put it this way. It's really Democrats who have been attempting to arrest prior presidents of recent vintage. I mean, they tried to do this to Donald Trump many, many, many times, like a lot of times. So I feel you don't have like a moral high horse to stand on so much here, because I don't remember you speaking out about any of that as an abuse of justice. The Pod Save America bros are in a bad mood, however, because Hunter Biden attacked them the other day.
When it comes to the attacks on Hunter himself, like, okay, what if we just stipulate for the hypothetical, like, yes, okay, all your business dealings were above board and legal. All your paintings were purchased by art lovers who loved the product and didn't know your name. Trump is worse. You were on the board of Burisma because of who your dad is. And that is what people hate about Washington. And it was part of the problem. And like, there's some other weird, like he said, blames the debate on Biden's staff, saying they gave him Ambien on his foreign trip. But like, Biden got back from the G7 on June 14th. The debate was June 27th.
A lot of Ambien.
If Ambien was the issue, like, I don't think it's Ambien, it's age.
Also,
right?
It's like he was tired, so they gave him Ambien?
Also, like, just...
Wow. I'm amused that the Pod Save America boys are now telling the truth about Joe Biden after spending a very long time defending Joe Biden's absolute senility. But it's only when they are threatened, of course, that they speak up loudly and proudly against the corruption inside the Biden administration. Like, solid stuff there, guys. Really, really proud of you for your honesty, your sudden bout of honesty. Well, that's all for now, folks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts down below. Be sure to check out all of the other great content on my channel. I'll see you here next time.